Hello everyone, Johnny Hurricane here from GamersHeroes.com, and today we will be going over what choice you should make for Comes Now the Power in the Outer Worlds. Obviously there are some spoilers ahead, so if you're not here yet, now's a good time to get out. Let's get started. Alright, so we are going to start with redirecting the power to the botanical lab, and we will see what happens there. When you return to Adeline, she will thank you. However, you do need to go get the power regulator from the Edgewater settlement still. She also mentions that she's not going to let everybody in, just some people. Oh, and obviously the deserters faction, you're going to get a ton of rep. You will be at 100% positivity if you do this. Now you'll have to figure out what you want to do with Reed. You can intimidate him if you have 30 intimidate, and that will send him and his guards out, and you can freely go get the power core so your ship can take off. This also means that you will not tank your rep with the Spacer's Choice because you don't have to kill everybody. Spacer's Choice is a big faction. You will be dealing with them, or at least their vending machines and their vendors, throughout the entirety of the game, so I do not recommend tanking your rep with them. If you do not have 30 intimidate, you have to fight, because you have to get the power core one way or another. Like I said, this tanks your rep. Pretty much everybody in the city that has a gun will now shoot you on sight in Edgewater. This is, it's not ideal, but you gotta do what you gotta do. The other thing is, way down the line, when you're actually interacting with the board, they will say, hey, if Reed's not in charge, we have a problem with the settlement down there. We need to do something with it. Reed is their guy. They want Reed in charge. So if Adeline's in charge, the deserters are in charge, whatever it is, they will send you back, and this is going to be a choice, to clean everything up. You don't have to, but there will be a choice to do so. If you leave Reed in power, you just get 2,500 bits later. I really do not recommend this. If you have to kill Reed and his guys, this is not a good choice. Don't do this. The other option is to redirect the power to Edgewater, which in my opinion is probably the better choice for most people. It's not going to be as difficult to get in a good situation here. If you choose to redirect the power to Edgewater, speak with Adeline, and she will say, you know, she's mad that you did that, of course, but she says she will go back if you deal with Reed. So your next choice is going to be who you want in charge of Edgewater. Do you want Adeline or Reed? If you want Adeline, make sure to talk to her and ask her if she has any tips to get Reed out of power, basically. She'll say, yeah, look, my people aren't sick with the plague, his are, I can cure it. And that is what you need to convince him to leave without going to violence. Because, again, violence against Reed means Spacer Choice rep, tanks, and that's a problem. When you get back to Reed, you need 10 Persuade, which everybody should have. If not, use an inhaler or something to get yourself buffed up. From there, tell him that she's been using human corpses as fertilizer. He'll say, well, that's actually brilliant, and he'll step down because that is what is the best for Edgewater. If you just want to kill Reed, you can do that. Again, it will tank your Spacer's Choice rep. And Parvati, if you have her with you, you're going to have to convince her to stay. It only takes 10 leadership, but still, she looks at you in a different light for the rest of the game pretty much. The only advantage of killing Reed is that you get his key card and can access his back room, which gives you a mod, a good mod, but one you can get later as well. It is a silver tongue kit, 5 to dialogue skills, and 10 to leadership skills. That's all skills. That means lie, persuade, intimidate, and then leadership ones, which I don't even remember. But as you can see here, negative 100%. That's just not a good thing to have. If you make it so Adeline is in charge, you do lose board rep. Make sure you get your power regulator because you need that to leave. And she will reward you with a watch, her watch, which is actually worth quite a bit of bits. As a guy who's beat the game, bits is not a problem later in the game, but at this point, it's actually kind of nice. It is worth 1750. You can kill her and get that, but that tanks your rep with the deserters and they will attack you on sight, so I wouldn't recommend that. And just to reiterate, if you take Reed out of power in Edgewater, there will be another big choice later in the game. If you leave him in power, you will get 2,500 bits later in the game. If you are intending to put Reed in power, make sure that you talk to the deserters here and tell them to go back. You need to convince them, you don't have to convince them, you basically just have to tell them to abandon Adeline and return to Edgewater, which they do. Return to Reed, tell him that they will come back, the workers will come back. If you did the quest for Grace, she can become a guard. If you did the side quest for the engineer kid, I can't remember his name, he needs 3 books. If you give him all 3 books, you can convince Reed to have him be an engineer as well. That's just a little bit of bonus experience and bonus stuff for you. You don't have to do it, but if you like the characters, you might as well. The only issue here is you can't get into Reed's back door because he's got the key and he's not dead. Still, your rep with Spacer's Choice is going to be Revering, which is great. That's a 25% discount. And like I said, you'll be dealing with them all game. All right, that will do it for me. This is the first big main choice. So, if you liked what you saw and got what you needed, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Later, Gators.